Hey everyone, this is Noah, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a real estate development model. Now in this video we're going to start from a very basic level and we're going to get more and more advanced here. So this model right here is showing this is your return on equity here. And so this is a very basic model that's going to forecast a real estate development project. And so who am I? My name is Noe. I work at a real estate development company. Actually, this right here is one of the projects that we're doing. It's a 60-story luxury condo building in Miami. I also have a master's degree in real estate at FIU, and I've held analyst positions. I run my own property management company, and I'm also doing some consulting here and there on the side. So if you're looking for somebody who knows real estate development and how to structure deals and raise capital, then please go ahead and visit me on my website and just get in touch with me. So we're going to be building this model right here. We're going to start out with this base file. So I highly suggest that you watch this video while actually building this Excel file alongside with me. And so the way that you're going to do that is go to the link in the description of this video and sign up for my course. It's free. And once you sign in to the course, it's going to take you here, and we have lots of different classes. These are different videos, for example, that show you how to do Excel. These are rental calculators. We also have office model, multifamily model, and this is going to be the section here with this video here. And so you get a bunch of free stuff here. And my goal is really to educate people, show them how to become good real estate analysts, but also how to do deals for yourself. Because what I've learned as an analyst is that you can basically become commoditized, where you're basically just a human calculator. And my goal is to actually show you how to eventually structure your own deals and make money outside of just a salary, and actually make good equity money and make cash flow and use everything that you learn here. So let's go into the video. Please download the file if you haven't already, and let's get started. So again, like I said, this is a very simple model, and a lot of these things are already kind of like filled out just so that we can move faster. So let's start very, very simply. We're going to do 100 units. Our monthly rent, let's say, is going to be $1,400, and we're going to do this. Boom. So this will be our monthly income. Our monthly expenses are also going to be an input, just for simplicity in this model. So we're going to say that we're running about let's go here. So your revenue minus your expenses divided by your revenue is, we're doing about a 57% efficiency ratio, which is pretty good, which is 1 point minus this. So about 43% expenses. That's actually kind of low. So maybe we can bring this up to about 50% is normal. Lease up start and time to lease up. So now these are going to be two inputs that determine basically how long the construction period is going to last for, when are we going to start renting things, and how long is it going to take to occupy the entire building. So for this example, we're going to do 9 and 4. Our land cost is going to be up front. We'll make it $250,000 just for now. Maybe we'll make it $2,500,000. The construction costs, we're going to say $15 million. Now again, this is going to be a very simple model because I want to teach you the concepts. And then later on, we can go into great detail. So I have here a model that I've made, which is extremely detailed. I actually made this for a consulting client. So by signing up to my free course, you are getting a lot of value here. And, you know, these pro formas are getting more into the nitty gritty. This example here, this is the development budget. And so I can show you how to go into the details, but for now, let's just focus on the high level. So the construction time, we're gonna do, and we're gonna start. Actually, this is, I guess this will just be here. Okay. Now our sources. So this is gonna come a little later, our equity and debt. But for now, we're gonna do a 75%. Actually, it's the equity that's the driver. So 25% equity. Our sources and uses, we're gonna build this out later, and let's also do like our interest rate and our cap rate assumptions, which will be 6%, 5%, and 18. So 6% and 5% and exit month 18. So I'm gonna make those blue here. I can do, we'll do that later. Okay, so this is kind of like the basics of where we are. So I like to make all these inputs in blue because that is kind of like just the best practice. All your inputs are blue and everything that is calculated is black. So let's say we start our construction project the first month of 2018. I'm gonna make this blue again, and the way I'm making it blue is by Control-Shift-B, but I also have a plugin installed, so go to the how to set up your Excel if you're interested. So equals, and the formula I'm gonna use is eDate, and it's gonna do this, the previous month, and it's gonna add one more month, and then I'm also gonna format this to be a short date. So then from there, I'm just gonna go Shift, right arrow, all the way here, and then I'm gonna do Control R, and that's gonna paste the formula to the right. And that's the month and phase. Here I'm also gonna do month number, and I'm gonna do here 1. Oh, I need to turn this back. I'm gonna do 1, and then I'm just literally gonna do +1. Oh. Okay, and we're gonna paste that across to our right. So it's an 18-month model. It's kind of short, but it gets you there. So let's just begin. So leasing. Okay, so lease startup and time to lease. So basically the lease startup is at what month do we start leasing. And the reason why this is its own variable is because you can actually start leasing before the building is complete. And so I'm actually going to keep it simpler in this video. So what we're going to do is first we're going to do a percentage lease. So I'm going to change this here to percentage leased up. So we're going to start at 0. So there's different ways to do this, but my favorite way is to kind of do an if. Okay, so if the month number is greater than the lease startup month, I'm going to do F4 here to anchor the cell. Please watch my anchoring cell video if you're not familiar. And if it's true, we're gonna do here the cell before, and then we're gonna add here however long it takes to lease up. So we're gonna do 1 divided by this, and F4. So because this is 4, every month that goes by, we're adding another 25% in occupancy. Okay, and so in this formula now, if I paste it across, you guys are gonna see what will happen, and I'm kind of like showing you the process here of actually like coming up with these formulas, because Excel is all about getting smarter, and it's all about the logic. So if you guys see, I have 2 problems here. The first one is that actually probably the 25% should start here, and also the occupancy rate is going above what we want it to be. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do an greater or equals to, I think it's the other way. And I'm also gonna do here a max. So here I'm gonna do a min. So min everything in this formula here. And so it will either be the lesser of 1 or this 2550. So now it's not going 200% over there. Okay, so I hope that made sense. So let's do our income, or our revenue rather. So here, very simply, we're going to do this 0% and we're going to times it by the amount of monthly income, and we're going to anchor that. So then boom, and we're going to paste over the formula here. Now if I'm going too quick and you don't really know how I'm moving around the sheet this quickly, that means that you need to be watching some of my other videos, because I really teach you more of the basic moves, let's call them. So expenses, typically they're variable, so you're going to have some fixed expenses and then some other expenses will ramp up as you fill the building. However, that's a little bit out of the scope of this video. So for the time being, we're just going to do a very simple formula. So if the month that we're in is greater than the construction end, so if it's greater than the end, then we're just going to make it negative monthly expenses. And if it's not, then it's just equal to 0. And again, we're going to paste out that formula here. Now our NOI, very simply, it's just equal to the sum of these two. Oops. The sum of these two. Boom. Alright, and let's take that to the right. Alright, so what's very interesting here is we have a loss here, then we break even, we start making money, and here we are making. So usually in this income, you know, you would build in things like rent increases, vacancy, a lot of different other more granular factors that this model doesn't use it because, again, I just want to show you the basics of real estate development. So now we get to land costs. Land costs is going to be very simple. So if this is equal to 1, then I'm going to make it negative of the land cost here, F4. And if not, we're going to make it 0. Boom. Alright, so I'm going to take this across, Control R to paste the formula. And now we're going to do the construction costs. Construction costs, it can be pretty cool. You can do a straight line method, but you can also do a beta distribution or normal curve. So I'm going to show you what a beta distribution looks like. Beta distribution. And what it is essentially it's a number of these curves, but this is kind of shows the best. And because construction costs generally have this kind of bell-shaped curve to them, and the reason why is because when you start, first you need to do the foundation work, and then it's not until you start breaking ground and actually start building the project, it gets more expensive. And then once the structure is finished, then you're doing finishes, plumbing, you know, just the windows, and the cost kind of like tapers off. It becomes less expensive per month as you reach the end of the project. So let's do the beta curve. So I'm gonna do equals beta dist, and then so X is the position that you're in. So we're in month 1. The alpha, I'm just gonna make it 1. I'm gonna make the beta 1. I'm gonna make it not a cumulative distribution, and then A and B. So A and B are their starting points. So my starting point is going to be month 1, and it's also going to be month 8, because it's going to take 8 months for me to build this building. Boom. We're going to do, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do -1 and a +1 here. And that's because the formula here we go. I had to put 5 and 5 here. So that alpha is 5, the beta is 5. It's cumulative. Oh, and the reason why I'm doing -1 is because if you put it at 0, it starts at 1, and if you say to end at 9, it will actually end at 8. So just to show you, Control R, and then here it's giving me an error because it's past the number 9 here. And then here, if I do percentages, you guys see how it's doing a curve, and I can probably show you this. Here is our distribution curve. So I'm going to do two things. So I'm going to do here if error. This is kind of like not the elegant way. I could also do an if statement and say if this is greater than 9, then just put a 0. But I'm just doing this if error because there's many ways to skin a cat. And I'm going to multiply it by the cost of construction, and I'm also going to put a -1 right here. I'm going to turn that into a number. Control R, and here we go, and here it's fixed. So this sums up to, you see, one of the problems with the beta distribution curve is that it doesn't always sum up exactly to your cost. So the construction cost here is 15 million, and this is 50,557,000. It's not that big of a deal, but it's something to have in account. And so sometimes you need to make little adjustments. So now we're going to do the sum here. So this is the sum of the construction cost. Sale of cash flows. So this is going to be very simple. I'll just do one simple formula here. So basically, this is going to be your NOI times 12 times reasonable growth rate. I'm going to do 2.5 here, 0.5%, and then I'm going to divide it by our cap rate, which is 5%. And then here's our $17 million here. Okay, so let's do this. So unlevered cash flow is very simply the total costs plus the net operating income plus the sales cash flow. Okay, so I'm going to take that all the way to the right. Please follow along while I'm doing this. Now the operating deficit. So the operating deficit is very simply going to be the minimum of the NOI and 0. So if there's a negative number, it will show up here. And if there's only positive numbers, then it will just do 0 because it's going to do the lesser than the cash flow or 0. So this is not such a great example here, kind of because our operating deficit only lasts for 1 month. So I'm going to say that it takes 6 months to lease up. Maybe I'll do 9 months. And what you'll see here is that it's taking a lot longer to reach that 100% occupancy. So I could show you how to make this stuff kind of like color coded, and it could actually change dynamically the colors, but for now I'm just gonna do this here. So here I'm gonna do construction, here I'm gonna do lease up, and then here I'm gonna just do occupied. So those are the 3 different stages here, okay? And as you can see, we have 4 months of negative cash flow. So interest expense, capitalized interest after debt, and capitalized cash flows. I'm going to touch on those on a different video, so but still stay with me for just a little bit longer. So our land costs are going to be this. So they're going to be equals sum land costs. So I'm going to sum this. Boom. Okay, I'm going to do Control D here just to paste this one down. Now I'm summing this. I'm also going to do the negative sum of the what's called here is the operating deficit. Boom. Negative here. Okay, so now you've basically built the basics of a real estate development cash flow. So I'm just gonna go here to this file here, how to model a real estate construction loan. And basically what I'm gonna show you in the next video is we're gonna start off from this template, so please download that, and we're gonna show you actually how to do this part here, which is the operating deficit and everything else, which is kind of like the interest and all of that stuff. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please watch the next video where I show you the second part of how to actually model the cash flows that relate to the debt and the equity, because you need to know how to do that. So here is the template here where you start off with, again, like I said, go sign up for my course here. You get a lot of free stuff, and just download this file here, Basic Circular Loan Construction. Alright, this is Noy. Thank you so much for watching my video, and once again, I'm here to try to help you become a better analyst and also learn how to make money and build wealth through real estate. Thank you.